Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you in beginner-friendly steps how to make this bubble skirt with asymmetrical design. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the tutorial proper. So guys, for today's beginner-friendly, stylish bubble skirt tutorial, the first thing you need to get is your pattern paper. So if you don't like pattern drafting or you don't like to cut with paper, this is the point you know that this is not the right tutorial for you. So you'll not get so much out of this. But if you don't mind pattern drafting, we can continue. So you get your pattern paper. If you look at the skirt, you see that there's an upper waistband on the skirt. So let's first cut the upper waistband before we cut the actual bubble beneath it. So for that, I'm just going to get another. I'll use this for the bubble. Let's use this for the waistband. I don't know if it's enough. Let me get another wider one. So you can draw a 1-inch border line at the top and below. It's optional, you don't have to do that. I just like to do it when I'm drawing my own pattern, just so I can have a reference point for my measurements. So yeah, now what's your waist measurement? Your waist measurement, divide it by 4. So my own waist measurement is 27 inches. So I'm going to divide 27 by 4. So here is my waist measurement marked right here. Now we need to get our hip measurement. So for your hip measurement, measure 8 inches down from your waistline down. So, and here it is right here. So this is my hip line. This is my waistline. If you look at the skirt picture, you would see that the waistband is wide. So how is long rather. So how long do you want the waistband to be? So for me, I'll just measure about 4 inches down to get an accurate length for my waistband. So yeah, this is the 4 inches down for the waistband. That's our waistband length. Now on my hip line, what's your hip measurement? My own hip measurement is 36 inches. So 36 divided by 4, mark it out here, and then we'll connect from the waistline to that point. And that's it. Now all you have to do now is to just cut your waistband out of this. So we cut this, then come here, and then come here. And this completes our waistband. So let me just label it waistband. So you can keep this aside, and then we work on the actual bubble. So before we work on the actual bubble, measure what you have here, the width of your waistband here. Measure it, then multiply by 4. So mine from here to here says 7.2 inches. So that's 7.2 inches. I'm going to multiply that by 4. By 4 gives me 28.8, or let's just say 29 inches. So that 29 inches will be what I'll be using to draft my bubble skirt. So I hope you are following now. So we can keep the waistband aside now. Now first, for the bubble skirt, I'm going to draw a 1-inch border line at the top and below. So this part here will serve as the side seam allowance, and then this part here will just be center front or center back, whichever one, because we'll be using this pattern to cut both our front and our back. So now the 29 inches we got from the waistband, we measured from the waistband, you can add 10 inches to it for gathers. So 29 plus 10, that gives me 39 inches. So divide that 39 inches by 4. So whatever you get, so that's about 9.8. So I'm going to place my tape measure this way, and then I'm going to measure 9.8 this way, measure it this way, and measure it this way. And here it is. So you can just kind of connect, and that's that. So now, how long do you want the skirt to be? For me, in the picture, I would say it has maybe 20 inches, between 18 to 20 inches. So you can make it shorter if you want. So let's use 20 inches. Then remember, we already took the waistband is 4 inches, so you subtract that 4 inches from 20 inches. Now we are left with 16 inches. So that's 16 inches. We measure it down, from here down, from here down, from here down, from here down. You got the drift. And this is it right here. So you can just connect. You can use a French curve for this, just so you have an accurate curve. This is our bubble. I'm going to cut it out. So before cutting it, remember to add a 1/2 inch allowance right here. You can also add a 1/2 inch allowance knot also at the hem. and this completes it. So this is still our side seam allowance right here, and this is still our center front. The center front can also be the zip allowance. So since we're using this pattern to cut both front and back, when you're cutting the front, you just fold the border line we have here. That is why I like to draw a border line, so it gives me room for other things. So you just fold the border line. Is 1 inch, by the way, so you fold it and then you cut the front. Then when you're cutting the back, you open it up, and so it becomes your zip allowance. Also the same with the waistband. So the waistband, if you draw a border line like I also did, here will be the zip allowance for the back. So when you're cutting the waistband for the front, you just fold this in, and that's basically it. So now we need to cut this on our fabric. Now to cut your waistband, you need to first fold your fabric first this way. Then when you fold it this way, you fold it again this way, and then you place your waistband right. Remember to fold the border line like I explained earlier. So this is, I'm cutting the waistband for the front. So you place your pattern on it and then you cut. Remember to add the 1 inch allowance to the side here and ½ inch below here for the waistband. So when you are done cutting the front, you do the same also for the back, and then you open this up when you are cutting the back. So I hope you got the drift. So that explains itself. When you finish cutting it, you keep aside, then you cut this also. You fold this like I explained, fold your fabric, place this, and then you cut. So I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done cutting. So guys, these are my cut out pieces. This is the actual fabric, this is the lining. So when you are cutting, please make sure you make the, let me see, this is the lining actual fabric. So add 3 inches to the actual length, to the length. This is the pattern we drafted earlier. So when you're cutting your fabric, add 3 inches extra to this, and then for the lining, you leave it as what we drafted earlier. You leave it as this pattern. So I hope you got the drift, and then you do the same also for the back. So when we are sewing, you know why we had to increase the length of the fabric. And this is my front, and this is my back piece. So I also did the same for the back pieces. So you can see this is the lining, this is the actual fabric here. So we had to increase the length, and this is my waistband. So I already showed you how to cut the waistband earlier. Now there are about 2 different designs for this bubble skirts. So I'm putting the 2 side by side. You can see that. So if you want it straight without anything, without doing any other design, you can leave it out. You can leave your pattern and you're cutting this way like this, and then you just move straight to sewing. But if you want that asymmetrical design at the front of the second front of the second bubble skirt, what you're going to do, I'm going to take out the pins here. So we are only doing this on the front of the skirt, by the way. So I want to kind of open this up. Now the asymmetrical design is only on one side of the skirt, so that's why I opened it up, so we don't mistakenly cut this side too. So yeah, and it's only in the front. So I'm going to come right here. Then you can just measure, go in by 2 inches or maybe even 3 inches. So this is the mark here. So this is 3 inches. So from that point, place your French curve on that point, and then just measure a curve. So make sure it's not too short. So draw a curve like this. This is about, let's see, so this is about 6 inches from the hemline here. So I don't want it too short. So this is about 6 inches from the hemline here. So now you just draw another curve. So just blend it, just kind of blend it into back into this, your curve, back into our pattern. So and I'm going to come here and just blend the curve. So I'm just blending the curve this way. So here also I'll kind of just blend this so it's not sharp here. So here it is, and then you just clean this part off. Now add your ½ inch allowance for the lining, continue adding it. And then we cut out. So I'm going to cut, let's cut the pattern first. And now we cut the lining. And now we measure the 3 inches allowance we added to our fabric. Remember that we measured here from outside from the pattern, so this one remains the same. So from here I'll just keep measuring my 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches till I get here. So everything here remains the same. So you got the drift. So yeah, this is what that looks like right here. So 3 inches out, 3 inches out, 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 out till you get here, and then we cut out. And now we can go straight into sewing everything together. Now to sew, place lining and fabric right sides together, and then make sure the two are touching each other like this. That is the hem touching, and then all the way round the other side. Then you just sew. You sew a straight gather stitch all the way round here. So I'm going to do that now. So when you're done gathering, you should have something like this. So you can, once you're done gathering, place it on your sewing machine again and just sew a normal straight stitch. This time no gather stitch, so a normal straight stitch down just to keep everything intact. So I also went ahead to gather the back too, and also that is the 2 back pieces. So yeah, now I'm just going to turn this inside out now. And so I've turned it inside out. These are my 2 back pieces, and this is my front piece. See the asymmetric part here, you give that curve, and then that's that. So when you're sewing, don't worry if you have like an excess around here. You can just kind of trim that off. And then you do the same for the 2 back pieces too. Yep. Now we're almost done. So all we have to do is to come here, gather this one also. So you sew a straight gather stitch also here. And then now once you are gathering it back to our actual waistband here. So we gather this back to this here. I'll do that. Then once I'm done, I also do the same for the back pieces also. These are my 2 waistband pieces for the back. So you do this also, gather this back to this, gather this back to this. So I'll just kind of do all of that now, and then I'll show you what the results looks like. And this is it done. This is my front piece. You can see this is what it looks like at the back. We've attached the waistband, so you can just kind of open the seams here and give it a nice press just to keep everything neat. Also, these are my 2 back pieces. I've also gone ahead to join the 2 of them together right here. So you know we have to put in a zipper here, so we'll put the zipper here. To know the accurate measurement to leave out for the zipper, you can just measure 7 inches down, wherever that is, mark it. So this is it here, and then you can just begin to sew our 1 inch, the 1 inch we added to our pattern. Remember, the 1 inch border line. So you just begin to sew that 1 inch all the way down, and when you are done, fix your zipper here. I'm not sewing a zipper to this, so fix the zipper here. Once you are done, place front and back together, right sides together, and then sew. So you sew 1 inch at the side here, and also 1 inch at the other side here, and that completes the skirt. So I'm just going to do that now, and then I'll show you what my finished skirt looks like. And this is the completed skirt. So look at the asymmetric bit here coming all the way and then goes down, please. And that's that. So I'm just going to put this on my mannequin now, just so that you can see the flow of the skirt. So if you do everything the way I've said it, the way I've explained it, we will both arrive at the same result. So you arrive at this result. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button below your screen, tap the like button also if you found this tutorial helpful, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.